Alrighty, thank you everyone for joining us today for the Mayor Proclamation of Disability Pride Month for the 1st of July. The Disability Pride Month is in July, and it focuses on celebrating disability history, disability identity, and all of the struggles disability has had to get to this point in society. But we are super grateful for our supporter, Mayor Mike Wiza, who is signing this proclamation celebrating this month.
One of the things that I want to bring to the attention really goes back into the history of disability rights, disability legislation, but disability existence in general. We would not be here if it wasn't for a gentleman by the name of Ed Roberts, a man who was diagnosed with polio, had a disability that profoundly impacted his activities of daily living, living in an iron lung, going to school, facing discrimination, but eventually using his voice and his power to encourage other people to rise up and advocate. And that really started spurring a lot of movement we saw around the country. Another matriarch that we can point to for disability rights and disability advocacy is June Human, who also faced discrimination because of her disability. Up until through the 1980s, we had a country that was mostly inaccessible. And a lot of disability advocates worked together using their voice, using their power, their influence to enact change. And then in 1990, we had the Americans with Disabilities Act, which really set forth a federally set standard that accessibility really should be baseline. From there, there's still a fight that's happening. There's still voices that are being heard, that are being lifted up in order to try and make more places, more programs, more spaces accessible to people with disabilities. And as we're finding out that spectrum of disability is increasing and those areas of access are becoming more easily discoverable based on what barriers someone with a disability has faced. And I'm really proud to be working with an organization that over the last 20 years has had a significant impact in the state of Wisconsin to make Wisconsin more accessible for people with disabilities. And then with the partnerships that we've had with Mayor Mike Wiza, the city of Stevens Point, through Wausau, all the way up through Vilas Forest, New Florence counties, within our corner of Wisconsin, the work that we have done impacting over 1,000 people with disabilities to regain their independence, to maintain their independence, or to become independent has been insurmountable. So I'm proud of the work that everyone here has done. I'm proud to be part of an agency that works really hard to ensure equal access, equal opportunities for everybody.
Yeah, and I think just kind of picking up on that, I'm very proud of being in this town. These days, disability rights, funding for disability, it's being attacked across this country, honestly. And to have the mayor come down, we have always had support of the city of Stevens Point to do a public proclamation just shows that there's action behind the words. And Mayor Mike's always been a friend, a strong ally to us, and it means the world to us for you to come down and do something like this. So we really appreciate it.
Well, thank you very much. I can't say with enough enthusiasm how much I appreciate the work that MILC does here. Not just practically helping people get the resources they need to better integrate and move around and use society, but just raising awareness. Things as simple as raising that awareness helps. Your staff has been instrumental in helping us with our winter supply plan. We don't necessarily think about these things for a fully able person. And having that awareness is a big help. So you are instrumental in making our society better and our community better. And because of that, I'd like to read this proclamation. Whereas Disability Pride Month is observed each July to commemorate the signing of the Americans with Disabilities Act in 1990, a landmark civil rights law that prohibits discrimination against individuals with disabilities, and whereas the city of Stevens Point values the dignity, contributions, and rights of all people and recognizes that individuals with disabilities enrich the fabric of our community through their talents, experiences, and perspectives, and whereas Disability Pride Month is a time to promote visibly, foster inclusion, and honor the history, culture, and achievements of the disability community. And whereas accessibility, independence, and full participation are essential to building a just and inclusive society where all individuals, regardless of ability, can thrive. And whereas the City of Stevens Point is committed to create a welcoming and inclusive environment that supports the rights of people with disabilities and affirms their place as equal and valued members of our community. And whereas, in celebration of Disability Pride Month, Mid-State Independent Living Choices will be having a Disability Pride Festival on August 2nd, 2025, at Lake Pacoma from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Now, therefore, I, Mike Wiza, Mayor of the City of Stevens Point, do hereby declare July 2025 as Disability Pride Month in the City of Stevens Point and encourage our community to recommit to removing barriers, challenging stigma, and ensuring that everyone can contribute to and benefit from the life in our city. Don, that's for you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.